Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. It's Sel. For those who are new here, welcome. And for those who already subscribed, welcome back to me. Kasi ngayon lang ako ulit nag-upload. But for today's video, I'm going to share with you 8 books that you should read right now. Or if you already read these books, you should reread them this year. So if you want to know what these books are, please keep on watching. So ayun na nga, the inspiration for this video is actually the news that I read previously, siguro mga 2 to 3 days ago, about Big Bad Wolf book sale becoming online this year since, you know, it's the pandemic and bawal pang mag-social gather. I mean, you know, may precautions pa rin because, ayun nga, this book sale has actually been going on for years now, annually, here in the Philippines. So, what is Big Bad Wolf Book Sale? They're based or originated from Malaysia, and they go to different parts of Asia to sell books at a fraction of the price that you see from your local bookstore. So, they offer all types of books talaga, all genres, from classics to kids books, everything. So, si Oli. So, the reason why they can sell these books at a lower price is because they buy them from the publishers directly. So, yung mga binibili nila is yung mga remainder books, meaning yung books that have been published a year older or minsan mas older pa. Kaya nila na-offer sa atin na mas mababa. So, ayun, I will link down below yung registration for the online event. And kita nyo yung books na sabihin ko dito dun sa Big Bad Wolf book sale, and you can, you know, buy them at a lower price. Anyway, so these 8 books that I'm gonna share with you, I already read some a few years ago pa, some just a year back. So the manner of my presentation would be from the recent read book to the oldest. And ayun, I will tell you my thoughts about it and the complexity siguro if you're a new reader. So if you know if you want to read this book agad or not. So yeah, let's start. So the first book I'm going to share with you is one of the most Instagrammable books that I've ever seen. I think sa Instagram po ata siya unang nakita, I don't remember. Pero nung una ko siyang nakita sa Fullybooked, sabi ko gusto ko yung book na yun. Kasi sa Fullybooked parang nasa 700 plus siya. Pero anyway, it's not How Good You Are, It's How Good You Want to Be by Paul Arden. So, the author worked at advertising and medyo directed siya for creatives. But I think the book is parang okay lang for competitive industries. So, it's not in story form. You can actually read this book in like 30 minutes kasi as in mostly pictures and yung text niya is siguro mga 14. Malaki yung text niya. So, ayun. Ang laman niya is about work principles and more of putting your work out there, respect sa work, more on communication, how to communicate with your clients. Basta working with clients. Ang pinaka gusto ko dito is yung sinabi niya na don't promise what you can't deliver. O, diba? Tapos nga, when it can't be done, do it. If you don't do it, it doesn't exist. So, yun yung mga titles ng mga chapters here. So, pag binasa ko lahat, baka hindi nyo nabilhin. I think it's a good book to have, generally. Pwede naman siya sa people who are into entrepreneurship or just, you know, being your own boss. So, ayan. I think this is one book you should buy. I got this from, I got this from Big Bad Wolf. And I only got it for $290. In Fullybooked, this is parang 700 plus. So yes, I hope you can check this out. So the next book I'm going to share with you, this is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. Frankl, di ko alam. So he is a psychiatrist by profession, but he also talks about his experience when he was sent to a Nazi camp and his experiences also with his patients outside of the camp na. So what it talks about is actually more on human drive. Is it pleasure? Is it meaning? And he talks about what happiness is, what suffering is, and I think yung gist niya is actually just that we cannot avoid suffering in this world. We can only move forward and work to learn the meaning of life even after that experience. So, I think it's a challenging book to read when you're a new reader. Pero it's definitely one of those books that you should read in your lifetime. So, I think it's an all-time bestseller. So, yeah, check it out. So the next book I'm going to share with you, I also got from Big Bad Wolf sale a few years back, and I only got it for 230 pesos. So this is The Art of Thinking Clearly by Rolf Dobelli. I think you've seen this book in Fullybooked or National Bookstore, read yung text niya, but this is an old published copy. So, what is this book about? It's about cognitive biases, errors na we meet in day-to-day thinking. So, bakit niya ginawa yun? It's because para ma-recognize mo yung mga biases na available to you. Para ma-realize mo na tama ba o mali yung desisyon na ginagawa ko. Kaya the art of thinking clearly, because it helps you clear your mind from any biases. So ayun, I think it's a challenging book to read if you're a new reader. Pero if bihasa ka na and you're into this parang principles na books, ganyan, I think you will enjoy this. Pero ayun nga, it's a challenging book to read because you really have to parang breathe every chapter kasi it's 99 principles. Did I say that already? Pero ayun, I think you should check it out. Ayan. Disclaimer for the next book that I'm going to share with you. I'm not at all that very religious, but I read this because from the title itself pa lang, it's actually self-realization siya. And those are the books that I'm interested in. So this is a green book. No. This is The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. I think ito yung mga books, it's hardbound. Pero I think you've already seen this one in your parents' house or in your grandma's house, yung mga softbound na merong The Purpose-Driven Life yung nakasulat. Ito yung mga hindi ko pinapansin noon na book, and I got myself my own copy. This one I got from a book sale in Greenfield. And what does this talk about? It mostly talks about God's plan for you. What's your purpose? Why are you here? Pero if you're not the religious type, I think you can also read this naman. It's a Bible study group book, workbook. Pero I think beyond that, you can get a lot of learnings about yourself. Why are you here nga? What is your role in the society, in your family, in your life in general? It talks about faith. It talks about mostly what your purpose in life is. Kasi who knows their purpose in life? Oh wow, ang deep na ng questions. Pero it gives you the realizations you need siguro at the moment. More on service, more on mission, yung mga tipong ganyan. A lot of points to ponder. There are a lot of verses also and questions to ask yourself. For a new reader, I think this is a good daily book. Siguro. Like, just one chapter a day, or when you're feeling down, ganyan. What did you do with what I gave you? Did you spend them on yourself or did you use them for the purposes God made you for? O diba, medyo deep siya. So, I can't say it's a challenging book to read. Pero if you're a sinner, joke lang ulit. Pero ayun, I think you should read this kahit once in your life just to have a reflection of who you are generally. So, ayun, baka sinasabi niyo, ano ba yan? Yung mga sinishare naman ni Sel na mga books, mga ang deep, hindi ko naman kayang magbasa ng mga ganun. Kaya mong magbasa ng ganun. Pero anyway, the next book I'm going to share with you is the next books. Yung 2 books na next on my list are somehow mga financial chorba books that I wish I had read years before pa. Pero I'm glad that I read it a few years back and I think everyone should read it too. This 5th book is old. It's an old book. Very old book. And my copy is an old copy din. This is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So, I think you've encountered this din if you're looking for financial books and everything. It's not really think and grow rich. Siguro pag inisip nyo, when you read the title, parang inisip nyo na paano yumaman, ganyan. Ganun yung and it will teach you the ways to wealth, ganon. I think it will, pero it mostly talks about your mindset. It talks about the power of thought, how your brain works, and how you make your desires into action. So, it's mostly parang a mind-setting book, most especially for money, for wealth in itself, generally. I think dito talaga lumabas yung about our limiting beliefs, about affording things, and etc. I think the modern version of this is actually Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass at Making Money. Because they talk about the same mindset about wealth. Now, wealth is not something that you should be afraid of or that, alam mo yun, yung disparity about the poor or the rich, di ba? Parang marami kasi tayong growing up, ang daming thoughts about how rich people are mean o kaya naman that rich people take advantage of you. Kaya people don't wanna be rich, people just want to be satisfied. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Pero, I think there are things that we should change in our mindset about how money works for us. And ayun, I wish that every adulting person or kahit sino reads this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a really old book. I think it's not a challenging book to read for a new reader. It's a very interesting book. It talks about your manifestations, your desires, your actions, how you make your dreams work. Alam mo yun. So, ayun. So, this next book I'm gonna share with you, I think goes hand in hand with the Think and Grow Rich book. This is George Classon's The Richest Man in Babylon. It's also a classic, financial book classic. So, ito naman, it talks about a lot of stories, parables about money, about wealth. So, yung major theme niya revolves around 7 principles about what you should do with money. And that's saving, controlling your spending, and making your money multiply, how to guard your money, and how to make profit, how to ensure your income, and how to increase your ability to learn. So actually yun na yun. Yun na yung gist ng buong book na yun. I think you can read this in an hour. And something na pwede mo tong basahin everyday nga eh. Just so that you can remind yourself about what you should do. Especially when the wealth comes in after reading the Think and Grow Rich na book, diba? So what you should do about it. Success Secrets of the Ancients, the most inspiring book on wealth ever written. So yeah, should check this out also alongside the Think and Grow Rich one. We're down to the second to the last book. This is from Dale Carnegie. So, backstory. My dad works at a company in Baguio. It's US based, I think. Pero they have a branch here. And yung mga ganun kasing corporations, usually nagpapadala ng people for leadership trainings and alam mo yon yung may mga self-development shit. So, one day, nag-uwi yung dad ko ng series of books na hindi ko alam kung binasa niya or ano. Pero, yun yung mga binabasa ko. And one of these books, this is Dale Carnegie. This is How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Yun na yung gist. It's nasa title pala. Pero it actually talks about how you should not worry. What is worry? Diba? It's parang having anxiety about things that haven't happened yet, or you overthinking things, ganyan. It says that we should focus on our present. Not that it doesn't affect our future, but because the present is what is here right now, and what our actions right now will be a defining, factor for all the tomorrows. Pero who knows if may tomorrow pa. Yes, ang deep ulit. Pero ayun, another book by Dale Carnegie that you should read is yung How to Win Friends and Influence People. He has a lot of books actually, pero those two I remember reading because those two yung pinadala sa bahay sa dad ko. Tapos, ayun, he has a lot of books din. The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking, How to Enjoy Your Life and Your Job. 'Di ba? Nakakatawa kasi this was written what year? It's a very old book. Pero parang ito na yung mga fundamentals in your work life and your life in general. Yung mga nagsulat nito before. And I think this one paved the way for other self-development, self-realization books that we have now. Ayun, nothing really special about it. Ito naman, maliit yung sulat. So, dapat masipag kang magbasa. I guess. Pwede mo namang unti-untiin. So, ako kasi pag nagbabasa, it's either per chapter, per part, para hindi ka malito, hindi ka makalimot dun sa previous na pinag-usapan. So, ano pa ba? May quotable quote dito sa book na to. May kodigo ako, wait lang. Every day is a new life to a wise man. So, it says na so much about what your action is for the day. So, yun. Stop worrying and start living. We're down to our very last book. This is a very famous classic self-development book. This is 7 Habits of Effective People by Stephen Covey. This one also came from my dad's office more than 10 years ago. So it's a very old book. I'm the one who has the copy kasi wala naman nagbabasa sa bahay. Ako lang ata. Joke lang. Pero this came with the workbook and I really enjoyed doing that also. Yun ba o yung kay Dale Carnegie? Anyway, this is one of the most parang fundamental books that you can find that paved the way, I think, also for a lot of books right now. Like the one I said about the Dale Carnegie kasi sila naman yung nauna sa gantong field. I read this at a very young age. I think elementary pa lang ata ako. Elementary, yung yabang ko naman. Hindi ko maalala, pero feeling ko elementary ako nun, mga grade 6, grade 5. Sobrang laki ng impact nito sa akin kasi it highlights the importance of yourself and your role afterwards sa others. and then goes back again sa realizations mo on yourself. Parang ganun kasi yung parang theme ng mga books na I shared with you tonight. I think the most memorable lesson about this book is that sinasabi niya na 10% of life is actually what happens to you. And the 90% of life is decided by how you react to that 10%. So, meron siyang example doon about how your day would turn out if your reactions would be positive rather than negative. And I think it's still a lesson that I'm still trying to learn because medyo hot-tempered ako at times, most times, I don't know. Pero, this grounds you somehow, this lesson na it's how you react eh. And how you react will make people react din. So, kung nega ka, tapos, syempre, yung people around you, nega din magre-react. Paano na? Talagang mababad trip ka lalo and that will affect your whole day, the next day. And this book actually has, I think, 3 major parts. It focuses on the self, how you manage yourself, personal leadership, personal management, and then it goes to the second part about how you will be coordinating with others naman. So, from the lessons you learned with yourself, how will you react to others? And then the third part talks about about renewal of what you learned from yourself and from others. So ayun, I think it's a very interesting book. Up until now, it's very old, pero fundamentals pa rin. So yun. So that's it. Those are the 8 books you should read or reread if you already read them. And sorry kung medyo boring yung book list natin at the moment. Pero I think, sabi kasi nung isang podcast na pinapakinggan ko, si Naval, I don't know if you heard of him, pero sabi niya kasi na there are a lot of books kasi on certain topics. And it's up to you to decide what is right or wrong for you din eh. But you can recognize what is what resonates with your value when you've already read the fundamentals. Parang science or math or philosophy, you go back to the basics and then you can explore the other books na. Alam mo yun. I recommend reading for everyone. Kahit dun sa mga hindi pa nagtatry mag-read. And I really want to invite this friend of mine who wasn't reading before pero he started reading. I don't know, parang na-engganyo lang siyang mag-read on his own. And I think everyone can start reading eh. Sabi nila, read what you love until you love to read. So, I guess maybe you can start reading with one of the books that I recommended. Or, I don't know, just pick something that you want to learn and get a book na basic about that and then just go keep on reading because I think most of the information we already need are in the books written and there are recurring titles, there are recurring topics, pero there are books that are surely to touch your heart, your mind, your being, and that will help you become a greater person, sana, and realize things in life, what matters, ganyan. Ang daldal ko. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm going to link down below kung saan nyo pwedeng mahanap tong mga books na to if you are not able to check it out in the Big Bad Wolf sale. And yes, thanks for watching. Bye!